I'm fine. I'm great. Hi there. Oh, that's desktop audio. Microphone. There we go. Wait a minute. That's just echoing now. It's fucking awesome. All right. Hey, there we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Roll with Advantage. My name is Joe. I'm having a great day. Let's go ahead and roll the intro and get started. And we're back.
Better.
So, previously on last time, the Explorers of Efera, our group of adventurers had descended further into the Bloody Mesa. Two goals in mind. One, to find the Bloody One's home, which is the home of Korvac and his gnolls. Hoping to find some answers on how to defeat him and how to destroy him within this place. But also knowing the potential dangers that exist within there. Thanks to their new friends, their new companions, Ovend and Torin, they know that one of the 13 Forsaken have descended into that cave recently. That member being Father Parido. Now, they know that one of the 13 Forsaken exist within those caves, and they know that answers behind how to destroy Korvac may also lie within. So the party heads into the Bloody Mesa in an effort to find answers and hopefully begin to truly fight against the Dark One and prevent him from being able to pursue this master destruction that he has of the existence of the world as they know it. Sadly, this journey into the Bloody Mesa doesn't exactly go the way that they had hoped. Their first stop in the Bloody Mesa was that of the city of Nazunet. Nazunet was an outlaw city, a place for rejects and desperate people hoping to get away and live out the rest of their days in an uncomfortable hidey hole away from the law. That doesn't go too poorly. They gain some information and some knowledge about the land that they're heading into. But right after Nazunet, they head into the city of Desa, a small village, no more than 10 or 12 buildings. They notice tracks and an absolute bloody massacre of the people that lived there. People pinned to walls with iron stakes and weapons. They noticed tracks in the sand, that of gnolls, but that seemed to just disappear as if they had up and flown away. All too late, the party realizes that those gnolls didn't go up and fly away, but no, they burrowed into the ground, and they emerged at the call of Korvac. Korvac, this leader of the gnolls. And, as the party knows, not just the leader of the gnolls, but also the original leader of the Kree people within the Bloody Mesa. These individuals that had twisted blood magic and made a deal with the Dark One in order to give them this semblance of endless life. But at what cost? The fight is arduous and long. It is a process to get through. But eventually, all of the gnolls that had been uncovered in the dust and the sand, almost all of them fall. Korvac, this entire time during the battle, had been staying a distance, 400 or 500 feet away, blasting these beams of energy from his emerald eye at the party. Once hitting Duncan with a beam of pure force, and then another time hitting a fair number of party members with this explosive beam of fiery necrotic energy. And then he did two things to end the battle. For one, all of the gnolls that had been killed by the party, he forced them back to life to continue to fight for him. All of the gnolls that had died began to slowly rise in a weakened state, but nonetheless alive again. The gnolls harassed all of the party members, but Morganax, in an effort to move away from the party so that way there wouldn't be any more destructive force from those attacks that had hit multiple party members, she moved away, thinking that most of the gnolls were dead. But as Korvac brought them all back, Morganax quickly became overwhelmed. Torin tried his best to protect her by using the spell Sanctuary, which almost worked. So many attacks were missed because the gnolls just couldn't do it. They couldn't force themselves to attack. They weren't able to succeed against that wisdom saving throw. However, in one cruel twist of fate, as Morganax has this brief moment of clarity, this brief moment of consciousness after a small heal, on Korvac's next turn, seeing Morganax in her weakened state, knowing the orders that he has from the Dark One, and ignoring his own anger and aggression towards the Silverfoot name, the same attack that he opened the battle with, that he hit Duncan with, a pure beam of force comes hurtling towards Morganax. In her last action, she throws up her cat owl Minerva so that she may not suffer the same fate that Morganax does. Morganax struck with that beam of energy a disintegrate ray. As Morganax drops to 0 HP, her body begins to turn to dust. No trace of the woman that once was Morganax lay behind her, aside from magical items that were able to resist the attack. The party then has many conversations that night about what is best to do. Duncan decides to break an ancient oath that he held in an effort to hopefully save Morganax. He tells the party of the Casa tribes, the pair, the duality of the Kree tribes, that they're still alive and they have chosen secrecy in their lives, but that should they go, they might be able to help. Top of that, Varnast has a moment with Astitia, where he speaks to her plainly and honestly, saying that Morganax has so much more life left to live, and that she could do so much better things than he could, hoping to trade one life for another. Astitia questioned him on this, asking if this was what he really wanted. He confirmed. But before Astitia granted him his wish, she said that he needed to reflect on it, take time to think. Within that hour, the party had more conversations about what was right to do. Very obviously, Varnast's first instinct was resurrection magic in some way, shape, or form, taking her to the Casa tribes and hoping that they might be able to undo this destruction. Surprisingly to the party, one person was against this. Of course, Grace was against going to the Casa tribes in general, but even with resurrection, Ovend Aki was against it, saying that when a soul departs this world, its purpose then is to rest. That is what fate intended. That is how it was meant to be. You don't disturb souls when they're laid down to rest. Now, Oven says that there is a brief bit of tension between him and the rest of the party, to a small degree Torin included. And Oven decides to step away from the party and reflect and think. As everyone else heads to sleep and begins their watches, Oven has a brief meeting with the person who gifted him his powers to commune with spirits. That person being the Raven Queen. Telling her that he would like to break his deal. After this moment of reflection and peace, and thought and conflict, he wants to be able to help. He wants to be able to have a way to bring Morganax back. So the Raven Queen accepts his broken agreement and tells him that, should he serve her in the great wars and battles to come, from now until the end of time, should he be that stalwart soldier, that vigilant blade, she will allow him to do this. To choose when a soul should return to the material plane or if it should continue on to the afterlife. So, he accepts, with the hopes that he may be able to return Morganax to the party. So, from there, we had a brief conversation with Alec and Varnast, correct? That was the first watch? Yeah? Okay, yeah. So we had a brief conversation with Alec and Varnast. And during the first watch. And then on the second watch, we had Torin and Grace. Both watches held retroflective and tense conversations. Some inner monologues, some conflicts between characters and conflicts of feelings and feelings of frustration and anger and resentment. But at the end of the day, all of them traced back to one thing. The sadness, grief, frustration, and anger all of them felt for losing a friend. Even in Torin and Ovin's case, even if it was a friend only for a short time, it was a friend nonetheless. So, with that, eventually all of our party members were able to gather. They were able to get their sleep, get their rest. And as the sun began to rise, our adventurers began to stir. Whatever camping supplies they had, they began to pack up, mount on their lizards, and prepare to face the day, heading to that long, silent road, and then hopefully to these caves that held the Casa tribes. Now, as all of you are waking up in the morning and getting your things ready, was there anything in particular that any of you wanted to do before you departed Desa?
I have a question.
Yeah, of course.
I know last session, I think you and I talked that did Torin get a long rest?
I mean, I'm okay with saying that he did. I know that you said that you hadn't really got very much sleep, but you were still resting, you know? Still participating in that rest, just that way you don't go into whatever may come at a significant disadvantage, you know?
Okay.
I think that the emotional turmoil that he's feeling right now is good enough. If you'd like, we can say this. We can say that if you'd like to... I'm okay with you recovering everything, but then taking a point of exhaustion, just for the emotional stress that he's going through. If you'd like to do that.
Yeah.
If you really feel like he went through that much mental duress in that moment, I'm okay with you doing that.
Where do you put that in?
Oh, on D&D Beyond? That's a great question.
Exhausted right there, bro.
Oh, you got it. Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah, it even rolls it. Okay, cool.
Nice.
Look at that. It even dropped it in the chat. That was amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Alec is going to paint her face in the morning. Very somber looking, I will say. More black than there is a lot of the red that she usually uses. But it's covering like almost the majority of her face today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she usually just does, like, down to her nose and leaving the other half done, but, like, her entire face is painted today. She also, after doing that, is going to practice, writing something.
Okay.
And I will send you what it is that she's writing. But just, every now and then you can just hear her just, like, silent curses in Elvish under her breath as she's, like, trying really hard to get letters in common right, and I think she's probably broken a couple charcoals at this point. But after she does at least get one correct, she will mount up, just kind of wait for the rest of the party.
Okay.
I think Varnast would try to find Grace at some point.
Yeah, of course. You can see that while initially on the journey that her and Duncan were kind of keeping as much space between them as they could, within reason. Especially this morning, Grace is fairly close with Duncan. And you can see the chemistry that the two of them share and the care that Grace has for him as he's just kind of slowly disassociating quite a bit. So he's just kind of staring down at the things in his hand, and Grace kind of pats him on the shoulder and whispers something to him, and he kind of nods his head and begins to continue to pack his stuff away. But you could easily go over and talk to her. She's kind of moving back and forth between her own area of rest and her mount, then checking on Duncan occasionally. So you could snag her by herself.
Yeah, he would definitely do a solo conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, he'd walk up at some point. Just, you all right?
I'll be fine. I think honestly, right now, I'm just more concerned about Duncan than myself.
Understandable.
And
I hate to be blunt, but I do need to ask you a question.
of course, please ask away.
You've known these two slightly longer than we have. And Varnas will kind of glance over to wherever Ovind is like doing his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's going to be a problem?
What do you mean?
No.
I just suppose I don't follow.
He seems very against what we're trying to do here. Do you think he's going to be a problem?
I don't know. I haven't known them, in all honesty, much longer than you have. Maybe only a couple of days, at the most. Maybe a week. From what I've seen and what happened last night, I think that this care and love that he has for spirits and not forcing them, just asking them to come with his performances that he did. It was never ripping and tearing to get a spirit to come out. It was always asking if there was a spirit that had something they wanted to share, and then they would come out. So, at least as of right now, I think that if there's some inkling or some communion he does that shows that the spirit is willing, then perhaps not. But this is all conjecture. I honestly don't know.
Not only wanted your insight, I will not hold you to anything he does. His actions are his responsibility.
And if I can be curt with you, Varnast, if he does, then he doesn't understand the pain of losing someone.
Indeed. Keep an eye on him for me, will you?
I will.
And Varnas will nod and walk back away to finish getting his stuff ready.
Okay. Alrighty. So you walk away. She continues to go back over and check on Duncan as often as she needs to. So. And then Alec, let me see. I just got. Oh. I cry.
Yeah.
What happened?
That's exactly how it's written, too.
Oh.
Oh, I cry. I cry so hard.
But in the end, didn't even matter. Okay, continue.
You did not just hit us with the Linkin Park.
Yeah, and like after she does that, I mean, she would fold it up and like hide it within herself, like find like a spot to conceal it.
Okay.
As are we currently on our lizards right now, or we haven't left?
You haven't left yet. You can see that Ovind is he's definitely taking his time. Not like dragging his feet, but you can tell that he's a little lost in thought right now.
Yeah. Horn is going to take a big breath and kind of right himself, and his eyes are not as open as they usually are. He is a little tired. He's going to walk over to Alec. And just hey.
Hello.
I made something for you. And he's gonna pull out what looks like a stone. He's carved into the same symbol that he showed you a couple nights before, Alec, of his mentor. Like a flower. He hands it to you.
You made this for me.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep and I needed something to do.
And you can see like her eyes are probably still really, really red from crying last night. And she also did not sleep very well or even meditate at all. So there's like a moment where when you first approach, she just had a very stone look on her face, but when she takes the little carving into her hands, she just softens a bit. Thank you, Torin. This is
Love you too, and have a good rest of your day, and tell Dad, hey.
love you too, Ryan.
Where's that coming from?
Who said that?
Who did that?
She just says, "Thank you, Torin. This means a lot. It is beautiful."
When you do look at it, it is just for everyone's sake. It's horrible. It is
Oh, lovely.
not good. It's not good. He's not arts and crafty.
Nah, Alec thinks it's pretty.
It looks like he made it using his hammer. I'll just say that.
Okay.
And he looks and goes, I don't really. Nothing I could say to make any of this better. And I want you to know that I'm sorry.
It is I don't think today is a day for words. I think you're right. There's nothing anyone can say to make this right. But it is our actions that will make the difference.
Torn is as you say, actions. He's going to kneel down, and he's going to put his head down and go, I will fight with you all against this foe. You have my word.
She's going to kind of like kneel down with you for a second and just kind of raise you back up. And we are
Slowly,
going to fight side by side, Torin.
there's a slight smile.
We are all equal here. Yesterday, there's still a part of myself that I am learning how to control. And
Like, I understand that.
thank you. And so if I said anything, it is because I thought I had to. So
No,
I am sorry if I said something to offend
there's
you or
no need to apologize. Everything you said was true and in the moment and right. I promise that I will do everything in my power to help you in battle to take down Korvac. I'm not good at much else, but fighting I know I am. And I will stand by everyone's side.
she nods and she does this thing where she kind of puts her fist to her chest and just gives you a small bow.
Orin, like, kind of sees it and he's like, okay, I gotta do it too. And then he, like, slowly does it and then does the same thing.
Thank you, Torin. We will make this situation right again. Whatever that may mean.
I know we will. We have to.
And you can see she just kind of nods and she's not smiling, but she like forces one. She really appreciates the gesture. She's just internally shattered in this moment. But she is trying very hard to be very strong.
Okay.
She'll just kind of like put her hand on your shoulder and kind of walk you back to the rest of the group. Sorry, Joe.
No, you're good. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay. So, sorry, I went to go click on something and I accidentally exited out of I accidentally exited out of Chrome. So,
Wah.
great. Um, okay. Sorry, I just want to make sure this gets pulled back up here. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no. Oh no. Of course, now it's picking up the wrong page too. Oh my gosh. Oh God. Why does the universe hate me? Okay. All right. There we go. What a great day. All right. One day it'll load. So, as all of you are finishing packing up your things, anything else, or is that kind of the last little bit before you all head off?
Varnas would try to catch Alec,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
just a few minutes before they left.
Easy enough, as it seems like everything's packed up. Only person still kind of dawdling a little bit is just Oven as he's making sure he has everything. You could easily catch Alec as she's like getting ready to mount her lizard.
Did you sleep well last night?
I closed my eyes. And
Yeah.
then I opened them again.
Yeah, I think that's how we all felt. Listen, whatever happens in this tribe, you know that when it comes to communicating with them, you're going to be taking the lead.
Yes, I understand that.
And I know that you're hurt and you're upset, and you have every right to be. But you have to be very careful how you hold yourself here.
She kind of like takes a really big deep breath in, and you can see that there's a part of her that was still holding on to just a shred of anger. And when she exhales, she's very, very hard, like trying to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
I will treat these people with respect. They may be lost in their ways, they may be lost in their faith, but somehow, in some way, they are still my kin. Whether I like that or not, whether they like it or not. I will be respectful because this is their home. And I don't want to do something that is going to jeopardize. She thinks for a moment, making sure that's the right word. Jeopardize what we could possibly do to bring her back. I don't want to be responsible for ruining that. I will hold my tongue if I need to.
If you need help, you know I'm right there, right at your side to assist you. Just let me know, okay?
I will. Thank you, Varnast.
And he'll give a nod and just pat her shoulder real quick, and then probably mount up if that's what they're doing, or getting ready to mount up.
Okay. Sounds good to me. So, as these conversations are finishing up, and all of you are just about ready to mount up and head out, as all of you are kind of clustered together, you can see Ovind, who's been keeping his distance a fair bit. He approaches all of you. And he says,
"If it may be all right, I'm hoping I may borrow just a moment of your time."
Sorry, I'm laughing at the chat real quick.
Such a gruff boy.
I think Varnast would stop what he's doing and turn. Just give him his attention.
I thank you greatly for giving me your attention, especially after my behavior last night. I apologize for my haste and my reaction to the prospect of bringing Morganax back. My temper towards this subject in particular is related to a deal I made before I left Albjord. And because of what was promised to me, I wanted to keep that deal. But last night, I agreed to break that agreement with that entity. After seeing and reflecting upon the love you all have for her, and how I can tell the importance she will have to the events to come. This entity has provided me with the ability, the knowledge to be able to do what need to be done. But the issue is I do not have any of the components necessary to perform this. They are incredibly rare and hard to come by. And I don't believe we'll be able to find them here. These Casa tribes may have what we need, but this is what I can offer. When those supplies are found, I will do everything in my power to bring her back to all of you.
What do you need?
There are rare oils, incense, and unguents, aromatics, and things to entice the soul and the spirit to return to a physical form that will be created for it in the process.
I assume Grace and Duncan are nearby.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
We're all listening to this, right?
Yeah.
Alec is gonna look at the entire time he was talking, and then when he mentioned about bringing her back specifically, Alec would have looked at Varnas for a second, and then over to Grace, and she would say, "Would these Casa people have the components that would be needed?"
Well, she kind of furrows her brow. I think possibly. Would they be willing to give them to us for free? That is another thing. But Alec, I'm sure that you will find some comfort in these people. They never do anything for gold or money. It's always goods and services. Can you give something that is valuable to them? Or can you do something that they find valuable?
Whatever it takes, it'll happen. So if there's a chance, then we have to try.
I completely agree. I just think that prepare yourself for, well, whatever may come. I don't think we would need... Back when Duncan and Frederick and I were here, as we said, they performed a ritual of a sort. Granted, no one was disintegrated, but they still performed a ritual to do so. But in order for us to have the components necessary, we needed to delve into a dangerous place within their mountain home.
When we've gone to the abyss, there's no place that could be more dangerous than that.
More dangerous than the abyss, no, but I'm sure it's up there. We needed to descend into the corpse of a giant worm. The ecosystems that exist in there are unlike anything that anyone has ever seen on the material plane. honestly, shortly after, I wanted nothing more than to go back in and look and take samples, but they wouldn't allow me to take anything. Whatever grows in there is so potent magically that may be, well, maybe what they need. So prepare yourself for that, at least.
I am not afraid. At all.
Sounds pretty cool, to be honest.
I mean, I assume I know the answer, but does Varnas believe Ovin's change of heart?
Make an insight check.
Okay. Come on. 23.
23? Yeah, he really does genuinely seem like he was being hasty and he was making his gut reaction, and you can kind of tell where some of that like Western salamander like spitfire is, like where he immediately is going to be stubborn and with his gut, but after taking a moment to reflect and think, you genuinely believe that he has thought and not necessarily had a change of heart, but he convinced himself that she is very important and she's important to all of you. And that's good enough.
Like Varnas said, you can't trust those folks from the Western Salamander. Not one of them.
Not a single fucking
Not
one.
a single one.
Varnas' sister and mom? Fuck them.
Nope.
Trash. Garbage.
Could easily be dark friends. We
Could-
don't know.
That's true. Could you imagine Varnas goes home? We've been waiting for you, Varnas. Shing.
Yeah, let's taking down notes right now.
The watch.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Anyway,
Anyways. Okay.
so
And yeah, Varnas won't comment on that. He'll just keep that in mind.
sounds good. So, with that, Grace nods, looks to the rest of you, goes to mount up on her lizard to lead you towards Silent Road.
Did they mention how long this journey would take roughly? I don't quite remember if that was brought up or not.
So typically it would take about a month and a half to go around the Silent Road out in the safety. It takes 4 days to get from where you are to the home of the Casa tribes, at least where Duncan and Grace know it to be. So it's 4 days of silent travel.
Dead ass silence. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Alright, then yeah, Varnas would just be ready to go then. Unless
Okay.
anyone else had anything.
Anybody?
Nope.
I like how none of you could see it, but I said anybody, and I like looked to my left and to my right, my computer
I see
screen.
it on the stream.
Yeah, that was funny.
I think just a small thing. Torin would just like go over to Oven and like pat him on the back, and then get on his lizard. No talking, just.
He'll say,
I'll
"Muh."
tell, yeah, I'll tell Eric I did that later.
Okay. See, Oven
Everything.
Oven gets on his lizard, and you can see that in his slowness and his sort of disassociative behavior every now and then, as he gets on and he sort of settles in, there's a couple of things that end up falling off the saddle, and he goes, "Oh, sugar drops." He has to get off and put it back on.
Yeah.
Of course.
Boo.
Yeah.
I did it. I did the thing. Okay.
Actually, before we leave, Torin's gonna look for Minerva. Where's Minerva at?
Little baby.
Oh, Minerva, I'd probably say, yeah, it's kind of like every once in a while you would see Minerva like fly around in a circle around the area, kind of land on a building. But then as seeing all of you getting ready, she would probably bounce back and forth between Torin and Alec.
Until Doglin comes around.
Yeah, as soon as Doglin gets close to Alec, she's going to Torin.
Okay.
So she'd probably be on like your shoulder right now, Torin.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
Okay. Alrighty. So with that, all of you settle in and you begin your journey north to the Silent Road and then hopefully to the home of the Casa tribes. There is a definite change in... Sorry, what were you going to say?
Sorry. Just a quick note. Varnas would be purposely riding in the back to keep an eye on the group because he prepared silence today just in case anything bad's about to happen.
It's really funny. All right.
What do you mean funny?
I don't know.
Don't like that.
You didn't go to the same joke school that I went to?
Did not.
Oh, well, explains it. Varnast, heading to the back. Quick question. Varnast and Torin, would you take off your heavy armor before going into the area?
Oh man,
Because
these are
it's
good questions.
It's not stealth checks. Like, you're not going to have to make stealth checks. It's more of just a being quiet as opposed to that. But in case anything bad does happen, and for some reason you need to begin to move quickly, would you want to have your armor off, or...
I think Varnas would have his armor off.
One too many times he's been burned?
Yeah, you know.
Um,
It's too much at stake right now.
if Varnas is not gonna have his armor on, Torin will kind of reluctantly take his off as well.
Okay. Alrighty. It is worth noting that the two of you are much more comfortable with your heavy armor off.
Hell yeah.
It's still hot. And the further north you go, the warmer it gets. Where you're probably looking at about 130 to 135 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Which, for those of you that don't speak Fahrenheit, it's about 54 to 55 degrees Celsius. It is scalding hot. Oh, Torin, you're even better.
Yeah, I was gonna say that he takes his armor off, and usually he kind of wears long sleeves underneath. But he would take off the long sleeve and just have like the kind of vest tunic on.
Oh yeah,
where you can see his arms and everything.
Sun's out, guns out. Am I right?
Yeah, but anybody who looked at him, like his arms are covered in scars. But like it doesn't seem like self-made scars.
You can probably see a lot of Varnas too.
Yeah.
Whip them out, guys.
All right. Scar party. Yay.
Oh,
Scar-
Been in the business for a long time.
Like, no shame, and she's just like,
Please don't.
she's not topless, okay? Relax. But, like, she's, like, very much down to, like, the basic undergarments that she has, because she don't give a shit. She doesn't have to have armor to fight.
Ellis just said in the chat, and I really need Gemma to draw this now. Get ready for a very specific calendar shoot. I need Gemma to draw like the wardens and they like summer outfits in the desert, like doing calendar poses.
Yeah, Torin's on the back of this lizard, just like posing hardcore,
Hell yeah.
laying down.
Yeah, just pinup style. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Only if Varnas looks miserable in every shot that he's drawn.
Yeah, that's accurate.
I like to imagine like Alec and Torin in this moment are like SpongeBob and Patrick, and Varnas is Squidward.
Looking out the window.
Oh yeah.
Varnas hates the heat so much. And everywhere we go, it's fucking hot.
Yeah.
Even in the abyss. Oh, there's random lava in this stronghold. Of course there is.
I have no idea
Can't be a
what you're
frozen
talking
tundra every
about.
now and then, can it?
This weather is wonderful.
I can just imagine like on this like day and night before you get to the Silent Road, just Torin is just fucking cheesing and Varnas is just miserable and Alec is just neutral. Like you have everything. Oh,
Anyway.
amazing.
Yeah, it's like Torin's at the beach.
Okay. Yeah. So all of you begin the journey, and I'm sure that somebody probably just threw all of Morganix's stuff, like all the magic items in a bag, right? And just-
Yes.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
much so.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Just wanted to be sure. So, all of you begin your descent from dawn until dusk. Now, Grace, after that sort of maybe 8.5, 9 hours of riding, the sun blazing down on you, as it begins to set behind the rocky ridges around you, you begin to see this desert really begin to open up. The mesa, right, the bloody mesa that you've been in so far, has been more flat with these rocky ridges every once in a while, these odd-shaped stones and rocks jutting out of the sand in these different tans and reds and browns. And even there's been bits and pieces of vegetation. Small oasis is trees, shrubbery, bushes, tumbleweeds, things like that. Just life in some way, shape, or form. Animals, even. But the deeper you get in, the less vegetation, the less animals, and the more of these rocky, stony crags. And the one thing you begin to notice is these stones no longer are natural outcroppings, but you begin to see what very obviously looks to be ruins. You can see pillars and massive buildings, these massive pyramids, and ziggurats that are like sticking up out of the ground, but almost entirely consumed by the sand. Statues that are toppled and cracked and broken, littering this entire area. And in front of you, not but 100 feet from where you are, you can see one small path, maybe 10 feet wide, with pillars jutting up out of the ground. And Grace points down to it and says, "That is the Silent Road." And this is generally what you see looking down. Oh, God damn it. It's really dark outside. That's... There you go. So you can see all of that in front of you. As you begin to make your way, as I said, the sun has set now, and it's... Grace turns to all of you and says, "It's up to you. Would you prefer to camp now in the evening, or push through in the night? We'll need to rest in there anyway, so we may be able to cover more ground. But I leave it up to all of you."
You said nothing goes that way, right? No animals, no gnolls.
As far as I know, no. The last time Duncan and I were here, no animals. Knowles especially not. Korvac knows how dangerous this road is. But it will be a hard journey. 4 straight days of silence, no speaking. If you absolutely need to. I've heard that a whisper, barely a breath, will not wake it, but I don't know if that's something that I would exactly be willing to risk.
I think we all can manage to be silent.
Before we go in, most of our spells are going to become useless. Do you want me to try scrying on some of our enemies?
Well, suppose it wouldn't be a bad idea to scry on Korvac and see where he may be. Just in case he's headed towards New Efera again, might be able to give them some type of warning.
Alec nods at that.
I could also scry on the sword, the family heirloom. Perhaps someone removed it from the mouth of the cave, and now they possess it.
Would you like to do that first, then?
Very well.
So, Ovend will, fifth level, scry. Oop. Okay. So we'll just say, as he's casting it, Varnas, since you also know scry, he'll just kind of commune with you while you do it. So that way Varnas can kind of describe what he sees too. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So he kind of grips onto your hand, and you can see him begin to commune with those spirits, and his eyes begin to color, and he looks up, and you begin to see sand, just miles and miles of sand, outstretched, like an eagle looking down in just this quick zoom and zoom and zoom, till eventually there's this fade of black. And you can see the sword on what looks to be a small stone table, carved from the mesa itself. It's an interior. There is no wind blowing. And as you just look around from where you can see, the scrying eye is focused on the blade. But you can hear a voice speaking nearby. A man's voice, older. Similar gruffness to his voice as Ovend, but there is a bestial quality to it.
Is that girl? You all will fan out and find her. Do I make myself perfectly?
You can hear several gnolls sort of yip and whimper as they run off. You can see that same man who was speaking approach the blade, pick it up and examine it for a moment, and then tip down, jam it into the stone table, the blade inserting itself into the stone, maybe 7-8 inches deep. And then he walks away. The scrying eye fades.
Well, that at least means that she's still alive. That's good.
What would one of the 13 want with her?
I don't know. And I'd rather not think too hard about it.
Sounds like we don't have much time.
Korvac, Dinin. I would have said Parido, but that seems pointless now. Anyone else I should check on?
Not that I can think of.
I think that is everyone. Unless I am forgetting.
Well, we certainly have more enemies, but those are the two that are most on my mind right now.
I am mostly concerned with Korvac.
Him first, then. And Varnast will attempt to scry on Korvac.
So that is a wisdom saving throw, which I believe the DC is more difficult for him, or he takes a negative thing to his roll because of how you have seen him multiple times now.
I mean, would you say we are, quote, familiar with him?
I'd say so, yeah.
You
were
know
like,
the target well. He's an asshole.
yeah, I'd say that considering the events of the previous day, I'd say you are familiar with him, yeah.
Yeah, so he gets a -5 to his roll, or the DC's 22, however you want to look at it.
We'll look at it as DC 22 just because, I don't know, that makes it easier for me. It's less math
I
I
feel
have
like
to
it's
do.
easier for me as well, so...
Yeah, okay.
DC's 22.
So, bum, 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 bum. Where's my D20 at?
Auto fail. Hell yeah.
Ryan, when you're at the grocery store, are you also one of those people that's like, oh, didn't scan, guess it's free?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
really not. As someone who works in retail, I hate those people.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Ready? And clonk. Oh, that's cocked. Clonk. Said DC 22.
22.
Okay. So that's a 15 plus 7.
God,
So-
he beat it.
That, yeah, just barely. He beat it.
God damn it.
So then it
How's
just,
he so wise?
so then it just fails, right?
Yep.
I think that's
and I
what's-
cannot use it for another 24 hours on him.
Okay, on him. I was like, oh, goddamn.
Sorry, meant to phrase that better.
No, you're fine. Okay. So sadly, you reach out, but you can feel a block. You can feel him stop you.
All right. So Varnes will just kind of look to the others and just shake his head, and they'll know exactly what happened with Korvac. All right. Let's try Dinan. And I will attempt again.
Okay. All right, DC 22.
DC 22.
Ah. Now that is a failure.
Yes.
All righty.
Din gets caught by these so often.
I know he's not the wisest boy. Okay. So you begin to scry. And this time, tuning in to the idea of Dinin Baynir. You get a very clear image of him. You see Dinin in darkness. Every once in a while, the sight of a flickering torch illuminating his face as he's walking briskly down a hallway. These hallways are natural. They are not man-made stone structures. This is just some narrow cave somewhere. As he's briskly walking down this hall, he's smiling, not saying much, as you continue to watch with the scry. As eventually, this cave opens up into a much wider area. You can see a wide, maybe 80, 90 foot circular room. And on the opposite end of it, you can see what is, for most of this room, what is lifeless, stony rock and crag. But then on that opposite end, you can see endless greenery, vines and trees and leaves and water just sort of spilling out, creating this small oasis in this one room. And through Dinin's perspective, you can see several things. you can see, just barely, although it's covered, all of these strands of vines and leaves and grass. They're covering something. You can see what looks to be two different halves of the same circle spiraling in towards each other. One, a sheet of white, the other of black. The two beginning to make contact, spiraling in, creating this almost like a yin and yang type shape. The two sort of spiraling in, the white and the black spiraling into each other. And Denon looking around. Hello? Hello? I was told that I was to meet someone here. Hello? Anybody? Anybody? Anywhere? Cannot stand it when people are late. Oh my. And see Denon makes his way over towards the water, picks up a small stone, skips a rock as it kind of skips 4 or 5 times in the water. And Denon waits there for maybe 6 or 7 more minutes, and you can feel the spell begin to taper. That image slowly begin to fade. And as it does, as the last sort of 30 seconds begin to play, you begin to hope and pray that whoever is supposed to show up will. And eventually you hear someone's voice, heavily distorted, as if they're doing it on purpose. Almost unintelligible. But what you do catch is do you always have someone else watching you? Or are you just too stupid to notice? And with that, the spell immediately ends, Varnast. It is cut off by something.
All right, Joe, question.
Yeah.
I feel like Ryan immediately knows what this is. I feel like Varnas has gotten some context clue about where Denon was, but would Varnas know?
Yes, Emeril had explained what the seals look like and how they need an amount of sort of dark negative energy and light positive energy in order to break through them. So yeah, he'd be able to recognize that.
I cast Sending to Emerald immediately.
Oh, shit! All right. Whoop, whoop. This is not a police.
Wait, question. So Efera is before Isles, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank fucking Christ. Okay. So Emerald hasn't yeeted himself out of the planes of time yet.
No spoilers, Kayla, shut up.
Sorry. Okay, good. Yes, please. Tattletale right now. Call Dad and let him know the kids are out late.
I'm literally counting on my hands right now because I don't have time for this shit. Denon Baynir is at the 13 steel with the overgrowth that you mentioned. Someone is with them. Hurry. Maybe we can stop them. I believe that was 23.
I think so, yeah. I wasn't counting because I was writing something down. Okay. Okay. It's at current date. Yeah, you guys are quite a ways off from Isles. Yeah, that's not for another month and a half. Okay. All right. So, Imariel immediately responds.
All right. Thank you for letting me know immediately. I will also scry to attempt to discover who else is there, and will try to go.
That's 25.
Okay. And then Varnas will, because he wasted no time contacting Emerald, so he'll explain more, like, in detail of what he saw and what happened to the group.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he saw that and then immediately sent a message to Imariel and was like, okay, so here's what I saw.
Yeah. Well, we're on a very short time frame, like, right now.
Yeah.
Because Emerald knew where that one was, right? Like, he was the one who told us that, like, they had found one with, like, the overgrowth of vines.
Exactly. Yeah, so he just wanted to make sure, double check his information before he went off somewhere that wasn't that. And then he
Yeah.
said that he would go as soon as he could. He just wanted to make sure he was right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then fuck it. We're not gonna get spells anyway for like the next 4 days unless something really bad happens. So I'm just gonna use sending one more time. Let me know what happens. That's it.
Okay.
I don't want to wait 3 fucking weeks to find out what happens.
Yeah. So he'll respond, and he'll say, I will also, while I have you. He didn't say that. He says, I will, just so you know, Cyrus is still all right. He is succeeding the trials and will hopefully be returned to you soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
That will also get passed on,
Yeah.
really, just to Alec. But yeah. No offense, guys.
Hey,
Who's
Duncan
Cyrus?
likes Cyrus.
Sure.
All right. So, send that out.
Alec just has a look of that wave of anger wanting to wash back over her, but she's doing her best to just bite it down.
Well, shall we go?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Forward then. Oh wait, are we resting here or leaving? I forgot.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Alec was
on that.
Alec was gonna like ask you guys what you guys thought.
Well, Torin was gonna ask Grace and Duncan what they thought because they've been through here already before.
Good point.
John, you're like super quiet for me. Is that just me?
Oh, it's because I was far away.
Oh, okay, cool. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that wasn't my mic or something.
No, it's not good. That was me, dude.
I don't know. That was funny to me.
It was me.
He can't keep getting away with this.
It was
Yeah,
me.
Torin will just go ahead and just look to Grace and Duncan and go, I know we talked about when we're gonna rest, but seeing as you all have been through here before, what would you suggest?
Well, I think that we should just head in now. The faster we get to the Casa tribes, the better.
And I think that we should rest here for the night.
Alright, well that didn't solve anything.
What I can tell you from what studying I have done is whatever creature lies under the sands, the warmth of the sun is supposed to keep it more tired, more asleep. The warmth relaxes it. As far as any of the
Rest.
books I've read.
Then
Yes,
we rest.
but there is time that we're losing by not going.
Duncan, we
Wow,
cannot be
this
reckless.
You're right. You're right, Alec. Tell me 4 months ago I would have said that to you and I would not have believed you. But you're
He
right.
just looks at him.
he laughs and looks at you and the smile just whomp, and just disappears. You're right.
So we are resting tonight, here, currently.
Yes. Seems as though that's the course of action that has been decided upon.
Broke.
All right.
Well, if we're going to rest for the night, I would encourage us to rest within one of the little entrances to one of the ziggurats there. It'd at least give us some cover from any of the sand. I'm tired of finding sand everywhere.
It's actually quite exfoliating.
It's rough and it's coarse and it gets
It gets everywhere.
Joe set it up. As we guess finds one of these little things.
Yeah.
Alec is just gonna sit in front of a morning light and just talk to him real quick, which I know is dumb, but it's not dumb to her, okay?
Okay.
Unless anything happens on the way, are we able to make a camp, okay?
Oh, yeah. It's only like a 10-minute sidetrack to go back a little bit, set up camp, sort of tuck the lizards off to the side, and then get everything set up. So by the time that you go in, the wind is no longer battering down on you, and that is nice.
Just real quick, sorry. When we get into, because we're in a ruin now, right? Like a ziggurat kind of thing?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Immediately, Torin is going to hold his symbol, and his eyes are going to light up bright blue, and I'm going to cast Divine Sense, just to make sure, nothing weird is around us.
Okay.
60 feet, celestials, fiends, undead, all that good stuff. I don't like that you paused.
You don't sense anything currently.
Oh,
But-
God. Okay.
One thing that you do sense is at one point in time, there were very, very, very powerful celestials and fiends that were here. They are nowhere near, but you can still feel that residual that they left, which that is an odd feeling. It's like an echo of power. It's no longer here, but it was so powerful that when it is like echoing through time for you to feel that.
Yeah, when you eat something really sour and your whole body kind of shivers? That's what happens when Torin feels that, and it's visible. Everyone sees him like, oh, okay. Well, I think we're safe in here, but this place has some history.
Alec is gonna look out to see if she can see anything out there.
Oh no, it was residual.
She kind of squints at the word.
It used to be here,
She nods.
but is not now.
Good conversation.
All of you are sitting near your fire. You, never mind.
No more references. Alec is gonna go and sit in front of morning light. Then just kind of sit cross-legged in front of him.
All right, so you sit in front of morning
How's
light.
he looking?
He's sad
Yeah.
because he is a very intelligent animal,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
he comprehends what happened. Like, you can tell. And he's sad. And because of how well you know Doggerlin, you know that he's trying to hide it from you. Which that's the thing that's even more sad.
Yeah, so she'll just kind of lock eyes with him and just kind of slowly tilt her head to the right. And he'll kind of follow her for a second, and she'll look to the left, and he'll do the same. And then she'll just kind of give him a really big hug. Like you hug like a giant German shepherd.
Yeah.
It's like around the neck.
Yeah.
But when she lets go, she's gonna say, for the next few days, you must be quiet. You cannot bark at anything. You cannot growl at anything.
Ruh.
Anything. If you do, we will all die.
He looks up at you and he nods his head.
And if we die, we cannot bring Morganix back.
You can see the scales around his eyes kind of droop a little bit, and he nods his head again.
You are a good friend, Morning Light. And we will get our friend back. And
That
she'll,
point-
like, pat him on the head.
At that point, he puts his hind legs on your shoulders and begins to lick your face.
His hind legs? That's
No, no.
Okay.
His front paws on your shoulder. Sorry, stands on his hind legs, puts his front paws on your shoulders, and begins to lick your face. Yeah. There we go.
She'll allow it. She just wants to make sure that he's not like their downfall over the next few days.
He sees a sandworm and he's like, rough.
Yeah.
And then the earth begins to break. All right.
All hail Shai Hulud, savior of Arrakis.
Hell yeah.
If you haven't seen Dune, go see it.
Oh my god. But that's all she'll do.
Okay.
Torin,
Yeah.
join me for our first watch tonight.
Sure.
As they walk away, Alec is gonna give Torin a big thumbs up.
He's going to look back and just double thumbs up, like Barnass can't see it, but yeah.
Oh, he
Ah,
does.
he totally sees it, but it's fine.
Yeah, with his
perception is nuts.
Perception.
it's like 89 passive perception. No, Varnas definitely sees it.
Barnes hears everything.
Yeah, he just chooses to ignore it. But yeah, Alec will kind of like notice that and just kind of give Torin that bit of encouragement, thumbs up, before turning back to Morning Light as they walk away.
He heard my thumbs up.
There's no one better at cheering people up than Barnas. That's what they always say.
Well, we'll see.
So I imagine we're at like the entrance to like these ruins, just because that's where anything would like have to pass through to get in.
Exactly. Yeah, you can sit at the entrance, your legs kind of dangling off onto the steps. You're pretty high up right now. You know, from the silent road, probably 90, 100 feet. So you can see a fair bit of the desert in front of you.
You want to talk about it?
Talk about what?
Barnes just gives him kind of a look like, really?
You mean Morganix?
Yesterday in general, yes.
I mean, I really don't know what I could say about it. Not to be rude or anything, I haven't really processed it very much. Do you want to talk about it?
Not really.
Oh,
But I have learned that even when I don't want to talk about these things, it's usually wise to.
yeah. It's, she was very kind to me.
Yeah, she's like that to everyone.
And
2
I
shooters.
yeah. But seems like we have a plan now, right?
Yep.
You think it'll work?
Hard to say. A lot of variables.
Well,
All we can do is try.
I've been traveling with Oven for a little bit now, and from what I've seen from him, he's very good. You've probably seen it as well. I have faith.
You're not blaming yourself for yesterday, are you?
A little.
Did you not fight your hardest?
I did, and I
Put everything you had behind each blow?
yeah.
Was there any resource you willingly chose not to expend?
There's one that I couldn't. That probably could have saved her.
But through no fault of your own. You tried, yes?
I didn't keep my word.
What was that?
Told Oven to stay close. And he did. Except I didn't. In the heat of battle and so excited, I ran to help Alec. In hindsight, she was more than capable of handling her own with those three. If I would have stayed back, I feel like Morganax would still be here.
That's an assumption you don't really know.
That's true. But it's something that I keep thinking about.
Can I give you some advice that it took me a very, very, very long time in life to realize?
He smiles. Sure.
It is perfectly possible to attack any situation and do your best and give it everything you have and still fail. That isn't weakness. And it's certainly not your fault. That's life sometimes.
Yeah. Just seems that, at least in my life, constantly keep making the wrong decisions.
Yeah, I know how you feel.
Thank you. I told Alec this, and now that we've finally had a chance to talk, I'll tell you the same. I plan to give everything that I have to avenge her. And I want you to know that through this journey, I will have your back.
I will accept everything but your life. That fair enough?
Yeah. Make a promise. Let's keep each other alive.
No. I'm okay with that.
Do have a question for you.
Shoot.
Have you ever I was gonna pull a piece of paper out and kind of lay it on the ground. Have you seen this symbol before? And it's the golden shield symbol.
Yeah, you see his eyes kind of like darken for a second, and then it kind of like returns to like his normal look. Yeah, I've seen it before.
You have?
Uh-huh.
What is it? Or who?
So, Joe, quick question.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about how the Golden Shield's like a world power is a little strong, but they're an international power.
Oh, yeah.
So
They
for
are,
someone.
yeah, the largest private military in the world.
So for someone like as old as Torin, who's like as good of a fighter as Torin is, to not know what they are, like that's a little strange, right?
It's a little suspicious. Just a little odd.
Yeah.
Sus.
Barnes kind of looks up and he's like, "You don't know what this is?"
No. But it's something that I really want to find out.
That is the symbol of the private military known as the Golden Shields. They're a vast international business that works all around the world for a numerous amount of tasks. Some not always very noble in purpose. It has several different branches ran by several different people.
You can see that Torin is trying to process that information. He's not dumb, but he's also not the smartest.
They're a very big mercenary group.
I'm not sure if you overheard any of my conversations with others, but where I'm
Not that good.
Oh, well, I'm technically from Bromsgrove. And while there, I taken in by a group of people known as the Children of the... Is it the Children of the Flame or Light? I'm sorry.
Children of the Flame.
Flame. Okay. Children of the Flame.
I'm familiar.
My mentor of many years, person who taught me how to fight, taught me everything after what happened. I woke up one day and she was gone. And this was maybe 3 months back. 4.
Mm-hmm.
And outside the window there were a group of these people with that symbol ready to attack our home. I'm trying to figure it all out, but it's pretty suspicious that it showed up very shortly after she died.
You think they're responsible?
Well, I only have one person to go off, but one group to go off of as being responsible. I don't have all of the evidence, and I don't exactly know. But in my mind, yeah.
Hmm. This was in... Where did this attack take place?
Bromsgrove.
It happened in Bromsgrove. The Children of the Flame attacked you?
No, the
Sorry,
Shields
the Golden
attacked
Shields
us.
attacked you.
More or less, yeah.
That's odd.
They came in and started attacking people at my house, and well, They weren't much of an issue after certain events, but they did attack us.
I have one decently high-ranking contact in the Golden Shields. If you'd like, I could reach out to them and perhaps see if they could do a little bit of digging, see if there's any record of what happened and why.
Well, that'd be very nice of you. I don't think it's not a high priority right now, so we can wait.
Well, I'm not going to use spells for the next 4 days, so I can at least let him know to look into it. He's not going to get back to me immediately. But, it's as you wish.
One more thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed from the fight that you're very powerful when it comes to divine magic.
Thank you.
Ovind performed a magical spell on me a couple days ago. He hasn't told me what he saw. It's something in my mind. If something happens to me, please do everything you can to take me out.
I can't do that.
His reaction was not good, which leads me to believe something's wrong.
A fair assessment. But I've killed companions before. I'm not doing it again. I'll stop you. And I'll save you. But I will not kill you.
You can see Torin kind of looks down, and there's a smile that goes across his face as you say, save him. Thank you.
What exactly did he do to you?
Looked in my mind. I don't know the specifics. I'm okay with divine magic, but it's more so for combat. I'm not too good on figuring out other things other than that, so I couldn't really tell you.
But he saw something that you don't know about, because you seem uncertain as to what this is that he's referring to.
Yes. He hasn't told me what he saw. Oh boy. Okay. So, a couple years ago, I woke up in a battlefield surrounded by bodies. And, I don't remember anything prior to that.
This was how long ago?
So we say like 2 or 3 years ago? How long ago was this?
Yep, I think it was about 3.
Whoa.
You have your voice changer on, Joe?
Oh,
That
shit,
all
do
about
I?
Yes, it was
I don't-
2 or 3.
I don't remember.
Thanks, God.
I don't remember typing any numbers in, so that's strange because I have them set up to like hotkeys on numbers, so that's strange. Is that and it's like the number. Oh, that's so weird. Anyway, yeah, I think about 3. Yeah, sorry, might be.
Yeah, it was about 3 years ago.
this attack against your old mentor, you said was a few months ago?
Right. Yeah.
Are you worried there's some sort of a connection?
Well, wow, we're just getting right into it, huh? So,
I don't really mess around. I know I don't talk much, but I'm a pretty straight to the point kind of man.
yeah, this is why I was well, you're a little intimidating, I'll say that.
Thank you.
Organic said you like fish. I was trying to find a fish a couple days ago, and we're in the sand, so that didn't go well.
I imagine.
But oh yeah, sorry, the thing that we were talking about.
That.
Well, they attacked, and they started attacking, and they hurt one of my friends. And then I blacked out, woke up, and their bodies were ripped apart and all over the place. And then I was thrown out because they looked at me like I was a monster, and they thought I was a monster. So that happened.
I see.
Yep.
Would you allow me to attempt something?
Is it gonna hurt?
No.
Promise?
Shouldn't. Yeah, sure. Promise.
That didn't seem like okay. All right, sure.
Varnast will kind of like reach forward and he'll place either hand on the side of Torrin's head. And he is going to attempt to cast Remove Curse.
Okay.
Probably is not going to work, but it's all Varnast's got.
Let us see. I just want to read the exact wording on remove curse.
Yeah, my guess is it's not going to work, but again, Varnast would try.
Ah, okay. Yeah. So as you lightly grab onto the sides of his head, you channel the divine magic in. Torrin, as you are just sort of passively sitting there waiting, you don't feel anything happen. But Varnast, as you attempt to channel that divine magic in, you are immediately sort of forced back and out. As that divine magic, you can feel it doesn't do any damage, but you can feel it sort of singe your hands as it was just repelled out of his body.
Are you okay?
Oh, I'm fine.
That's
Varnast
kind of
is
what
just kind of
happened
looking at his
last
hand
time.
for a second. Well, do you want the good news or the bad news?
Is any of it good?
I mean, from a certain point of view.
Bad news?
Well, the bad news is that I'm guessing whatever happened to your memory or to you in general, there is very powerful magic behind it.
Great. Sounds good.
You did ask for the bad news.
I'm trying to be very optimistic.
Is it working?
Yeah.
You and I are going to get along just fine.
What's the good news?
Well, I've met soldiers who have lost their memory. Simple thing like damage to their skull or traumatic experiences causes them to forget things, and sometimes they never recover because they're at battle with their own mind. But very clearly, based on what just happened, that isn't what's going on here. Something did this. This isn't something that would naturally happen through your own magic.
Is that good news?
It means you can fix it. It means there's hope. And that's always good news.
Or, you know what? No or. Yeah, yep.
You okay?
Yeah. I'm just worried.
Believe me, we don't need another worry words in the party. That's my job.
The funny thing is, I'm usually not. This is a new thing for me. I'm. I don't know what's in there, and if you or Ovind can't get rid of it or see exactly what it is, that scares me.
I don't know you well, Ovind. I don't know you well, Torin.
Ovind, where are you?
Sorry.
Oh, sugar drops.
I don't know you well, Torin. But I know you well enough that you are a life that deserves to be saved. So as long as you're with us, whatever happens, we will have your back. And we will make sure that you're okay.
Me too. Just at least promise me. If you're not going to, you know. Stop me. If anything happens, I'm sure nothing will happen. But just in case.
You have my word that you will not harm my friends or anyone else.
Good. That's all I ask. You sure you're okay?
Oh yeah, this is just me in general. You get used to it. I'm just tired.
Me too. I haven't slept very well.
Listen, it's quiet, and to be frank, you look kind of like shit. Why don't you go get a few extra hours? I'll do the rest by myself. I'll be okay.
Are you sure? I mean, I can stay up. It's not that big of a deal.
Your eyes have gone like half closed at 8 different points while we've been talking. I think you need to get some rest.
What?
Yeah,
What?
yeah, that's what I thought.
I feel real bad.
Don't be. I invited you to join me for a reason. This is how I assumed it was going to end. You have nothing to feel guilty about. Besides, I need you in top form tomorrow.
Yeah, unless we have to fight some giant worm or something.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's not what happens.
Yeah. Sounds cool, though.
Yes, it sounds cool. On paper.
Well, yeah. I wouldn't actually want to do it, but I'm gonna go to bed. I'm tired.
Good night, Torin.
All right. Torn goes to bed.
Okay, Torn goes to bed. Varnast, as you continue on your watch by yourself, you look out at the sprawling desert and mesa before you. And you can see that as the sun sets and the moon rises, there is a strange semblance of life that begins to happen in front of you. With the stars illuminating the sky, you can see from some of the ruins off in the very far distance, these small little creatures begin to exit. No bigger than a gnome or a halfling, wearing these thick brown cloaks, glowing red eyes. They just sort of wobble into the sand, and they spread out in the different areas, going to different ruins. And over the course of your watch, you can see them exit the ruins holding what look to be stone tablets or pieces of metal, weapons, armor, and they carry them back to wherever they came from. You see them head back in. Seems like they're grabbing things and putting them back in their own place. Super weird.
Parnas just like, huh. And now we'll just keep an extra close eye out in case anyone wants to come try and steal their shit.
You see like 3 of them begin to wobble towards the ruin that you're in. You do anything?
How far away are they?
Maybe 100 feet, 80 to 100 feet.
I think Varnast will just kind of like wave his hand, and they'll start to see a storm cloud forming overhead,
Oh,
with like
lightning.
lightning cracking through it, and he's just looking down at them.
You see the 3 of them look up, they lean over to one another. And they turn around and walk away.
They are Jawas.
And after a minute, the storm cloud will fade away.
You can see like there's the 3 of them get back to a group of like 12. They all kind of point over there and they just start shaking their heads no, and everybody just sort of takes a wide berth around your ruin.
That guy's got crazy eyes.
The Jawas are like, you ever played GTA 5? That guy looks like Trevor. All right, that's.
Oh, God. Why would you insult me so, Joe?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh,
We all know he's not. But when that's how you get people to stay away.
oh my God, did you kill him? What kind of a sick monster do you think I am? Of course I didn't kill him, but I did kidnap his wife.
Oh God.
That's
All
the
right.
best line in that whole game.
I don't know. I disagree, but I cannot say my favorite line out loud. So,
Fair enough.
yeah. The one about a yee ass haircut. That's my favorite one.
Yes, good one.
Yeah. Anyway, so you continue out your watch, and eventually, Alec, or not Alec, Ovind will take the second watch. He'll just do it by himself. He'd like the moment of silence. So he takes his second watch, and second watch also goes undisturbed. So with that, as the sun begins to rise over the bloody mesa, dawn begins. All of you mount up your lizards, and you begin to head on the silent road. And on that note, that's where we're going to go ahead and take a break.
All right.
All right, break
Grab some
time.
cereal.
BRB. And we're back. Let's dive in.
Hey.
So, picking up where we left off, our group of adventurers had made their way from the town of Desa, the very, very small little baby village of Desa. They had a lot of emotional and gripping conversations on their journey, and now they arrive on the exterior of that long and quiet road that will lead them to the home of the Casa tribes. So, as you all awake in the morning, the sun beginning to crest over the sandy dunes of the Bloody Mesa, you mount up, Torin and Varnast, removing your heavy armor, and you begin to head towards the silent road.
Oh man, everyone should do one last scream because we're gonna be silent for 4 days.
I think that's a very good idea.
All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3, and then Torn's gonna yell.
Ow!
Hey, yeah, Alex, same. Does Varnas partake in our scream?
No.
Trash. That's fine.
I can't afford to ruin my singing voice.
Did you
Alex
really
will, though.
think he would?
No, I didn't.
Does Grace and Duncan?
Duncan will because he thinks it's funny. So he'll go, "Rah!" And Grace
Oh, come on,
will
you
look
got
at
more
him.
than that.
"Rah!"
There you go.
All right.
Grace and Barnas just look at each other like, yeah.
They give each other Jim looks like they are each other's camera. All right.
Pretty much.
Amazing. Okay. So, with that, the group of you begin your journey. Grace leading the way. There is a small path that leads you through this part of the mesa. You begin your journey. You begin that long and silent traversal of the mesa. No sound accompanying you aside from the whipping winds and thrashing sands around you. The ever-present cutting of your mount's arms and legs into the sand as you slowly move, one foot in front of the other. Silence. Pure and utter silence. The first day begins and ends 8 hours of walking in a straight line flanked by ruins and destruction on each side. You camp for the night, but this camp is... There are no tents that are put up. There's no fire that is burnt. Because making that noise could be too loud. Unless there is anything somebody would like to do, we'll just continue on to day 2 as you sleep atop your mounts. Which is very uncomfortable, but it's just the safest way to do things.
Yeah, I mean, Varnas has silence, but I just don't think it would really help with anything, like maybe just for like building structures if that's what people need. So, yeah,
Okay.
I think we'll just make do for now.
Alrighty. So day 1, this entrance into Silent Road goes undisturbed. The quiet is eerie, and it is hard to... You're thinking a lot to yourself. You have a lot of inner monologue happening. So as you awake on the second day and you begin your journey, towards the evening, as all of you prepare for rest on the second night, my question to all of you is what is currently that sort of inner monologue look like in your character's head right now, as they've had 2 days of silence with nothing to do but to think?
Torn is thinking to himself. He's just kind of reminiscing about all the good things that's happened when he was back with the children, and all of the good things that's been happening so far. He's very much trying to keep his spirits up. Um, I would even say that as we're traveling, whenever he sees any of the other party members, kind of like there's like a little sign of depression or like kind of like down, uh, he will like catch their attention and then make his shield change faces to like perk them up. But that's
Trying to make
important.
us laugh.
Not enough. I don't think anyone can laugh in this party.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
good. Alec does smile though when she sees it.
Yeah, that's
Woo.
Corn's inner monologue. He's currently right now. It's only been 2 days, and he's been by himself longer than that. So yeah, he's trying to keep spirits up.
Crazy part that I just realized is Alec and Varnast, this is probably the first time in like a long time, like 9 months, where you guys haven't been able to communicate with one another verbally. So you've known each other for a while, so nonverbal communication is something you have to do sometimes, but never for like this long of a period when being near each other.
Yeah.
So that is a little odd. It's not the worst thing in the world, it's just weird.
Alec is I would say like the first few hours of the first day, her mind would be kind of on that edge of relighting her fuse. Rather, I mean, she doesn't want to, but like replaying the moment over and over
Mhm.
again, and just
Mhm.
kind of trying to think of ways of which she could have done something differently. If she could have gone back, if she wouldn't have charged in, if she could have got Korvac's attention better, if she could have got to him. And then, the next few hours, she can feel herself getting angry again. She thinks about the conversation with Oyvind and how she's like a little bit of loathing at that point where she's thinking like how could she, after all this time, after all this progress that she's made, letting her anger get the best of her again. And then over the next couple hours, I think she does find like a realization that it could have been way worse. Her reaction could have been literally killing Oyvind right there. But she didn't. And I think by the second day, kind of reliving the conversation between her and Varnast, and I feel like at one point when she's looking out, just thinking about her grandma and like the things that she would tell her, and like that moment back where she was at that pool and was able to speak with her one more time. And I think she's really channeling that and her own conversation with like um Eliza Silverfoot.
Mhm.
She's got a lot of thoughts, sorry. And so she's like,
No, that's okay, yeah.
when she finally gets to her grandmother and Eliza, I think she's finally starting to breathe a little easier. Her fists aren't clenched anymore. Her jaw isn't tight, and she's like refilling herself with that sense of peace that she found before and trying to work through the anger that she's feeling. Because she just wants to be a good chief and do things right. And so she's trying to get herself in the right mindset for when she has to talk to the tribe. So it went from like very on the verge of getting angry again to depression to self-loathing to okay, wait, I have to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of giving herself a pep talk and
Yeah.
looking forward. So
Amazing. Yeah. No,
that's her thought process of jumbled thoughts.
no, yeah, I love that. I love that. Okay. And then Varnast.
Do I have to?
E- Share with the class.
God damn it. So I think part of, Varnas is not a stranger to just being fairly quiet and keeping to himself a lot, so the silence doesn't really bother him that much. It's more weird to have like all these other people who are normally very talkative be quiet. But okay, I was about to say, what is making that sound?
Oh, sorry.
I was like, what the hell?
Sorry, I clicked the button wrong. Sorry, that was my bad. I didn't think, I thought when I put, I didn't realize you could hear the noises too. That's really funny.
So first, Varnas is kind of just like playing through everything in his head. Like, we bring Morganax back, we go and take down Korvac, we take down Paraido, we take care of things, find Nibiru. Like, he's going through like the play-by-play in his head. And then he gets to the point where he's like, and then, like I said, I can go home. And then his mind kind of starts wondering. And he's like, do I go talk to Sven and tell him that I'm done? Do I not? I probably should, because like that should be his decision what he wants to do at that point. Then do I I can, maybe we can go pick up like wherever my family is hiding, and like we can all go back together. We can just get this like nice little house. Might need to do an odd job or two just to get a nice little nest egg or something just before I officially kind of stop, because funds are tight. And then he kind of keeps thinking. He's like, but Morganax died the other day, and I was there for that. And he kind of starts just going down this rabbit hole of just like, are these people going to be okay if I'm not there? Is it my fault, or do I need to live my own life? Where do I draw the line? Where does my duty and my own happiness begin and end? And what's the right answer? I don't know. And yeah, that's what's on his mind. Because once he starts thinking about it, he really can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, it's a very like spiral journey. Just continuing down that rabbit hole. Yeah. Yeah. Really good thoughts. Okay.
Sure, that's the word we'll use.
Sad but good.
Yeah.
So all of you have those thoughts, and you eventually settle in for rest on the second night. Waking up on the third morning, you know what direction you need to go, where you need to be. So that is exactly what you do. You just continue on your journey. And in the morning of the third day, as you are riding, and this would be like right as the sun is beginning to crest over like the rocky mesa, or those very, very tall sandy dunes. As soon as the sun begins to rise and shine down on the sand near you, all of you can feel this massive shift, this rocking, as if you are on a boat that just hit a rock, as you just lurch off to one side and return back to normal. As you can see in the distance, there's one of these large ziggurats that just begins to just crack and tumble and fall into the sand. Grace, you can see her eyes go wide for a moment as you all freeze. and you stay still for just a moment or two. And then 5, and then 10, and nothing happens. For a moment, some of you were hopeful when you were first told about this place that maybe whatever that giant creature was lurking beneath the sands was just a legend, a rumor, a myth. But it seems as though there is something underneath these sands. Something that just by rolling over, moving slightly, can topple a monument the size of a keep. So you pause for a moment to make sure that nothing else is coming, and you continue on your journey. Till eventually you get to the close of the 3rd day. Night comes, all of you sleep. You wake up in the morning, the 4th day, knowing that this is your last journey's ride, and by this evening, you should hopefully be getting to where you need to go. Grace and Duncan both try their best to give you comforting looks, but the silence is typically not this affecting. And you're not sure if it's because of the stress and anxiety attached to the looming threat of any noise. But there is just now this, it's like almost this ringing you begin to hear in your ears for 15, 20 minutes at a time, fades away for an hour, and then comes back. As you just sort of, tug at your ears or dig your fingers into your ears, trying to scratch that noise to get it to go away. But sadly, it doesn't. As you begin traveling on the 4th day, the sun eventually rises to its peak in the sky. Gets to be maybe noon or so. And you know that in another 4 or 5 hours, you'll be where you need to be. In this area, as I've said, the amount of ruins has begun to decay a little bit. There's not nearly as many. But one thing that you notice is that every maybe 2 or 3 feet, there are these very odd-looking stones off to the sides, sporadically kind of jutting up out of the ground. And as all of you round this corner, you can see 4 individuals standing in the middle of the road.
No.
And as soon as you round the corner, you can hear you can see them look at you. And you can see some of the stones that you saw that looked odd, they begin to move as well. As people pull back cloaks and hoods. And they begin to walk towards you. Weapons drawn. You can see the 4 standing in the road. You can tell that just from their armor and how they're holding themselves that these are magical individuals. And you can see the one in front of all of you. Sort of at the center. Go ahead and give you perspective over what this looks like. You can see 8 individuals approaching you. 4 from the north, 4 from the south, and then the 4 magic users. So this would be...
Do they look native?
Yes. Their skin tones and their clothing would lead you to believe that. But you can tell that their weapons that they're wielding and some of the armor patches that they're using, that they currently have equipped, they seem to have been taken or looted from other bodies, perhaps.
Interesting. So am I getting the vibe that this is the tribe? Am I getting the vibe that these
Mm,
people are very removed from
Or the sand
tribe?
people.
you are questioning yourself. You're not exactly sure, but then this lead magic user, they sort of gesture their hand in the air, and you can see them create a minor illusion. And you can see them create the symbol of gold.
Like,
Oh,
like a gold coin?
Lots of gold coins.
Alec is gonna look at Varnast for a second, and then remove her like coin purse. I don't even know how much money Alec has. Probably not a lot because it's Alec. Um. Oh fuck! No, actually, woohoo! Alec has a lot of gold. Okay. Um.
Torin will do it then.
What? No, 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 no,
Sure, Torin
no,
has not as much gold.
no. Alec doesn't care about money. Her people don't use it. Kayla as a player is going to do a little thing though. Alec is going to like hand forward, so I'm not gonna give your gold away either, LS, because that's just fucked up. Um,
Wasn't her gold destroyed?
Yeah, it's all gone.
oh, was it? Oh,
Mhm.
that's even worse and sad.
Forced A down the drain. Sorry.
Alec has like almost 3,000 gold. It makes sense that most, like, all of it wouldn't be in one coin purse, right?
Yeah,
Like, our, okay.
that makes sense. Yeah.
She will just undo one of them, and you can decide how much is in there, Joe. I don't care. Alec wouldn't care, because she has no use for gold.
You said you
And
have like
she will-
3,000.
Total, yeah.
So we'll say that you have like 1,000 in each purse. So you pull out, one person has 1,000 gold. in it.
Okay, cool. And she will, fully confident, unafraid, just staring these people down, not trying to be confrontational. She will just walk up to the person making the symbol and hand them the bag.
Okay. They grab the bag, and you can see Torin, Ovend, Varnast standing back this way, and Grace and Duncan would be able to see this as well. All of the 8 soldiers that are approaching you that have like weapons and armor, you can see that as they approach, they do currently have their like mouths sort of gaping open, as if at a moment's notice they're ready to make noise.
Interesting.
So, Alec, as you approach, let me go ahead and do this real quick. Okay.
I took 1,000 gold pieces off my character sheet, by the way.
Pull you here.
Oh my, a map? We don't need that, it's fine.
No, yeah, we don't need this.
I'm doing what they ask, Joe.
So, yeah, you
This is unnecessary.
you bring forth the gold, and this person, this hooded figure, they take it, they tuck it away, and they look down at your belt and see the other pouches.
Alec will gladly hand them over.
They'll take it, and they'll take it, tuck it away, and then he'll look up, and you can see him make a few symbols with his hands. And the others down here, they begin to approach party here.
Torin has a big smile on his face. Greeting smile.
And as they do, they start to move their hands towards your saddlebags, looking for any food or water. And they plan to take all of it.
This is the 4th day, right?
This is the 4th day. Mm-hmm.
It's a 4th day.
Fucking take it, bitches. That's Kayla, by the way. Obviously.
Okay. Is anybody stopping them?
Nah.
Okay.
I mean, all they're going for is food, water, and coin.
Yep.
Nah.
Okay. So they take the food, they take the water, they pack it away into some of their bags. Very quietly, you can tell that this is something that they must have some type of training with. And Alec, the one, sort of looks at you, and you can just see the sneer on his face as he looks at you from underneath the hood of that cloak.
Alec is like doing that thing where she has like her chin raised and she's just staring back at him like she is unfazed.
You can see him kind of stare a little bit more, and the sneer kind of fades away for a moment as he looks you up and down. He steps closer to you. So he's almost like nose to nose with you and is going to lean into your ear and whisper very quietly, "Silverfoot."
She isn't going to like justify it. She's just gonna give him a knowing look. Just side-eye him as he's right next to her.
Smile and lean in again and say, "It makes this all sweeter." And he'll lean back.
I wish there was like an Efera fuck you sign that Alec would know for like her people, but I feel like that doesn't exist. But I fucking wish
I don't
it
know.
did.
I feel like it'd be like you fling your fist up and kind of like smack your like joint. I feel like, you know.
Oh, the temptation is so real, but Alec won't. She won't. She will just, like I said, she's not gonna give him the satisfaction of giving a reaction, so he's just gonna stare.
Okay. All right.
DM, quick question. Is there like a line in the sand where like if we cross it, we're no longer in the spot where we have to be quiet? Like, is that visible, or, you know, we just like...
No, it seems.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that to be so.
Oh, well. Fortunate.
Okay. So they
They're
take.
not- I know they're trying to take like a bunch of bags. They're not trying to take the Morgonics bag, right?
No, they are specifically looking for coin, for food, and for water. So that means as they're poking around Torin, Ovend, and you, Varnast, and Duncan, and Grace, if they find out in the open, if they find bags of coin, they're going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I guess the question to Torin and I don't know why, for Ovend, I feel like he would have it tucked away somewhere. I feel like he wouldn't have it.
Got like 15 different coats on, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like that would be a little more hidden away. But then for Torin and for Varnast, do you think they would have it tucked away like inside their belt, or would they have it just sort of hanging off the side?
Goran usually has it tucked inside of his armor, but he doesn't have his armor on.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
I think same with Varnast. I imagine he's usually smart about these kind of things, but yeah, not today.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Torin's also one of the ones that's just like, fuck with me, I'll beat you up. So like, try to take my gold, but at this point,
okay, so they are not touching silver or copper or platinum. They just want gold.
and it's unfortunate I only have gold.
That's all
So they
Guys, are you
take.
sure we don't want to beat these guys up? Like,
Nope.
all right,
They'll be loud.
all right.
I mean, Alec wants to now, but she's not gonna punk out of this, so.
Like, they need to be quiet too because they're in danger too. Technically.
You're not wrong, but I feel like they may know things that we do not.
So, I was gonna say Varnas cast silence so we can kick their ass.
I feel like no matter what, something's gonna go wrong, so you
I
might
know.
get your wish.
I know.
Okay, so they
I marked off my gold.
take off the gold. They take all of the food and water.
So sad.
And you can see all of them just smiling, sneering back and forth at the haul they got from this.
Bitch, we have a cleric who can probably create destroy water. Fuck it.
So, they grab hold of your materials, your food, your water, and your gold. And as they take it, they begin to step back.
What's the dude in my face doing?
As soon as he sees his other soldiers step back, he and the others will step off of the road. And he will as well, and allow you to
Before
pass.
he moves,
Mm.
Alec is just going to, like, burn his face into her memory. Like, she is going to, the entire time he's walking out of the road, like, her eyes are not leaving his.
Yeah. So you can see that he is, he does have tattoos on his face. And in a very similar way, these like brightly colored tattoos, a lot like Jalissa, where there are these either circles or lines that are these sort of bright teals and golds. And you can see that he has sort of a crescent moon pointing down on his forehead towards his eyes. And then he has, and the crescent moon is gold. And then he has 3 teal stripes, one in the middle of his lips, and then the other 2 at the corners of his mouth going down to his chin. 3 teal stripes on his
Alec will
chin,
remember this.
golden crescent moon pointing down.
Does that mean anything to me?
To Alec, no.
Okay.
Does that mean anything to me? I'm just kidding.
Torin, yes, you are an expert in in all things.
I want to say that as the people who just took my gold are backing up, the shield of expression makes a tongue out face towards them.
Hilarious.
And once we start moving, if we start moving again, Torin's just smiling at all of them, but like there's steam coming out of his mouth,
Feisty. Okay.
and his like throat is kind of glowing.
Alrighty. But with that, they don't.
Alec wants to eat these people so bad.
Torin doesn't he wants to too.
They don't stop you from moving. It seems as though they have gotten what they want, and they allow you to move through freely. They don't stop you.
Can I throw a javelin at them guys so that they yell and then the thing kills them?
No, they'll attack the whole road.
As they're walking, Alec is gonna like shoot Vardas a look like validation. Like, did I do the right thing? Was this smart? Are you proud of me, Dad? What do I do? Like,
He just gives a nod.
decipher that look. Okay, then she'll keep moving forward.
It's good. Hopefully a nod isn't too hard to decipher.
Yeah.
Little did she know that nod meant, yes, you fucked up.
Oh,
Okay, well,
God.
they're gonna keep moving.
Love it, love it, love it. All right.
Oh, Alec is steaming now as well.
You keep moving after having been
Assholes.
so robbed. You move. No food, no water. You're very glad that you do not have any longer to go on this journey. As, especially towards the end of the 4th day, for one, they don't show back up. They don't try and track you down. At least after this, they seemingly got what they want and they left you alone. So,
We have scry motherfuckers.
So you do so. You head out, and you can feel in this extreme heat with the sand and the wind how when you don't have water to drink from, unless Varnash, you have create or destroy water that doesn't have any verbal components.
I'm pretty sure that's a verbal component spell, but I'll check.
Okay.
Vardas, does that mean they took your water from home?
Probably.
Oh no!
Really fucked up.
Oh.
And you know what? They probably fucking drank it because they're assholes.
It's really good water in their defense.
Shut up, Ryan. You should be
Be
angry
more,
about it.
be more upset.
I'm grumpy. Continue. Sorry.
Okay.
No, I do have it prepared.
Oh, nice. Does it have a verbal component?
Yeah.
No. Okay. All right. Well,
I
so
mean, I can whisper it.
you can, yeah.
Doesn't say I have to be loud.
Water! So yeah, you can just really high pitched, like a dog whistle, or Fortnite, like I was saying yesterday. Okay,
Anyway.
so you then can cast the spell, which does help. It eases the severity of the thievery, as you're able to sort of quench your thirst, and you're able to deal with those problems a little bit better. Still, the food is part of an issue, but luckily, if Grace and Duncan are right, you should hopefully be arriving at this place very, very, very soon.
Ooh, Alec is gonna like take like as we're walking, she can do it as she walks. She's been painting her face all her life.
Mhm.
She is just gonna spruce it up to be like if that guy recognized her, I assume it's because like her hair,
Mm-hmm.
and probably her just demeanor, but her hair is very recognizable. She just wants to look like a chief, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
even though it's windy as fuck, as we get closer, she will put on her like little headdress thing she had made, and just like make her face paint. I mean, it was very clearly something to mourn Morgana's, but it just needs to look fucking terrifying at this point. So she will mix in the reds that she loves so much.
Mm-hmm. Nice,
Just
nice.
So you know. Just so you know. It's
Hell
really
yeah.
clear.
No, I love it. I love it.
But other than that, she's just gonna keep moving forward.
Okay. Alrighty. Sounds good to me. So, you continue on your journey through the silent road. As night begins to fall, you can see the two paths. The path in front of you diverge into two different ones. One continuing to head north, the other heads straight east, which Grace leans her lizard down. All of you follow. So you continue on your journey. You travel as long as you can, and you can see Grace sort of urge you to push forward, sort of with her eyes, even though you've been going for so long, she still is sort of pushing you to continue on, and try your best to continue forward. So you do so. You try your best to push on. And eventually, you can see the dirt around you, the sand around you begin to fade just slightly as you get closer and closer to this almost mountain range that you can start to see them on the horizon. And you start to pick up the pace with the lizards just a little bit. As you get closer and closer, you can see small bits of vegetation reappear. You can see what looks to be different entrances, like holes in the mountain where you can easily go in. And as you're getting closer and closer and closer, you almost believe that you can see light emanating from there. You travel along and you continue pushing forward. And eventually, after another hour or two of riding, the mountain is close. The lizards begin to move up these stony steps of this mountain. And these entrances, they don't look formal or grand or magnificent. they just look like natural made caves. You can see the sort of stalagmites and stalactites just sort of poking up and shooting down in different places right at the mouth of this cave. But you can see steps that go down. And eventually, those pillars end in the sand as you exit, and it opens up to this large valley before this mountain cave entrance. And all of you, as you are approaching, looking at this place, Grace will turn around and she'll sort of exhale and begin to speak, quietly at first. I believe and you can see it's hard for her to talk loudly, but then she says, I believe that means that we're out of it now. And if they're still in the same place as they were before, that means they should be in there. Within that cave.
Do you and Duncan want to keep your distance or stay with us?
Well,
Well, in a while. Didn't you say that you might die if you went in?
that's what I was thinking. I think that Duncan and I will camp out here. We should be safe enough out here. If anything goes wrong, Duncan can use sending to communicate with you. And do not be dishonest with them. If they ask how you found it, tell them that it was Duncan and I. Suppose if they don't ask, you don't need to mention that we led you here ourselves.
I plan on being honest.
Good.
If these are any kin of mine, honesty is better. You can't make a deal if someone is hiding secrets. Whether or not they value that, I don't know.
Truthfully, yes. Wise words. Make the best judgment call you can. And she kind of looks around the mountainside and sees that there's a small inlet, maybe 15, 20 minutes from that cave. She points to it and says, Duncan and I will stay in there. Let us know as soon as you learn anything, and we'll be ready to go whenever. But sadly, I think that whatever you do in there, you're going to have to do on your own. Trust your instincts. Thank you. We will. You too. All of you.
Alec is going to call Morning Light to her side, and she's gonna start walking in with
Morning
everybody
Light.
behind her.
Morning Light, when you call him over, he goes, ruff. Just a very quiet, just to get it out, you know?
Yeah. Hold that in for a while.
Yeah.
Warren is going to, who I assume has Minerva,
Yes.
look at the party and say, should leave her out here, right?
What?
Minerva.
Why?
Well, I don't want her to be in danger. If there is any. I don't know.
She'll be fine.
Okay. I trust you.
Okay. Alrighty. So, as you begin your entry into this mysterious cavern, you can see, very oddly, with the moonlight peering in from behind you, there is, for one, the desert winds begin to die down behind you, and you can see finely carved steps descending down deeper and deeper. Something that looks very similar to this.
Ooh.
You begin your descent down. And there is this eerie quietness. Not nearly as threatening as that of the silent road, but there's no dripping of water, there is no sound of people. For a moment, you're not sure if you're even hearing your own echoes of footfalls. And then
What?
Varnast, you're the first person to hear this. You can hear what sounds like the string of a bow being pulled taut.
I had a question.
Yeah.
Would we have put our armor back on?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, at this point for sure.
Let me just re-equip that.
So, but you can hear that bowstring pulled, and you can hear that sort of creaking noise of the wood bending. But even with your 24, 25 passive perception, you still don't see anything up and around you.
I think Varnas would just kind of stop in place. He'll kind of glance back to the others. Not alone anymore.
Do we see anyone around us, Joe?
Go ahead and make a perception check. And all of you can do that if you'd like. I'll make one for Ovind.
11.
Oh, goddamn, 28.
Come on.
I got an 11.
Nice. Nice, Torin.
Sick.
Plus 0.
Sorry.
Let's see.
Oh shit.
I
plus
got
6
a
perception.
28.
Oh, same as Ovind. Okay.
Like, well, I was excited, but I got a 22.
Hey, well, that's good. So Alec, even with a 22, you don't notice anybody, which is very strange. You're sort of peering up, looking around. There's nothing.
Mhm.
But Torin, you're pretty sure that that's just Doglin making those noises in his stomach.
I was gonna say that Torin is kind of just playing with Minerva.
Oh yeah, we'll give him little scritches and scratches. But Ovind and Varnast, you begin to see, just from the moonlight that is shining in, these small reflections of what, like these obsidian arrowheads that are just sort of gleaming in the moonlight, and you can see maybe 10 or 12 of them hanging from the ceiling in walls, these small little holes in the walls, pointed down directly towards each one of you. And you can see, as you catch all of those, seeing them, you can see a woman begin to exit, that bow drawn back, pointed directly at, I suppose, then Alec, who would be leading the way into this cave. And as she speaks, Alec, she speaks to you. And she says, "State your name and what you are doing here."
My name is Alex Silverfoot, of Logan Silverfoot, Chief of Congiato and Warden of Efera. We need your help. My friend was killed.
So now, a Silverfoot comes asking us for help. Fate is a cruel mistress, is she not?
The Silverfoot and their people could have used your help not too long ago. But I am here now for a different matter.
Tell me what you seek. what you hope to find here.
If you know of a way to bring her back, I ask that you help us. Whatever you want, we will give. If there is something you need to be done, it will be done. But I hope to leave with my friend.
I will bring your request before our chief, and she will decide.
I wish to speak with your chief directly.
If that is what you wish, then so be it. I will grant this kindness to our sister tribe.
With that, the woman now sort of getting a much better look at her in the moonlight. You can tell that she's shaven completely bald, even the hair on her eyebrows shaven off. Wearing clothes of light tans and dark browns, and wearing very loose and light clothing for the weather that she is in. She has arrows slung around her back and a very, very fine bow in her hand, wearing a small headband around her head with different jewelry and adorning around it. No name yet, but this is a pretty good image of what she looks like. A lot of side boob going on, but you know.
I mean, it's hot out here. What do you?
Yeah, you know, you gotta get some airflow. Okay.
Yep.
So, with that, she looks to all of you, and she will say, just not in a threatening way, but just as a word of caution.
The rest of you are considered guests. You may speak as you see fit. You may voice your opinions as you see fit. You may carry your weapons if it provides you comfort. But should you brandish your weapons in any capacity that is not approved, know that there will be a reaction that I'm sure you will not find favorable to you. Same as you had a hard time seeing these arrows in these walls. Just know that there will be many more following you on your journey into our home.
We understand. We are not here to harm or to cause a problem.
Good. You may follow me. Welcome to the home of the Casa tribes.
With that, she'll turn, and she'll begin to walk deeper and deeper down into this cave. You can hear, Varnast, all of those bowstrings kind of retract and tension, and the arrows knocked back in their quivers. And as all of you descend deeper into this mountain, heading further south, you thought heading into the cave, things would start to get a little cooler. But as you begin to descend deeper, things only start to get hotter.
I hate this fucking continent.
And on that note, as you begin to descend deeper down in the mountain to have your meeting with the Casa tribes, so we're going to end tonight's session.
We have like 45 minutes. What do you
What?
mean?
What do you mean? No, we.
It's only been 3 hours.
I know,
We've
but
only
we
been 3
start at
hours.
we start at 4 and end at 7. I think you're just confused because last Friday we went for an extra 2 hours.
Yeah, what's your point? No one had a problem.
No one had a problem. We can keep going. I want to talk
I'm
to
just
this bitch.
here.
Joe, do what you need to do. It's fine.
I'm going to be entirely
Yeah.
transparent. I thought you guys were gonna fight back in the desert in some way. So I'm just being entirely honest.
They're
I
not ready.
do not have anything ready for the inside of this mountain.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
That-
Then
I'm
we'll
just-
push you.
I don't like to say that. I don't like to admit that. Like, I know in my head, but I don't have any of the assets
No, it's
ready.
okay.
Oh,
Where if we
boy.
were playing in person, I could totally just, I could do it.
Yeah.
But because of
No,
the,
it's fine. We'll give you an hour. We'll come back in an hour.
and then we'll play for an hour. Yeah.
Come back.
Which,
Perhaps
No
we
worries.
could
No worries.
find another day this week. I'm gonna not play it for 2 weeks. But we can talk about that off the stream.
yes. I'm really sorry. I like I said, I just,
No reason to apologize.
yeah, most of the time as a DM, I over prepare, and I guess this was one of those situations where I under prepared. So my apologies. I don't know. I guess
You
when
want us to fight those guys, we'll fight those guys.
I think that my one flaw in logic was I gave you a thing where you couldn't talk, and that's usually what takes so long in Efera is you guys love to talk to each other. So when I gave you an encounter where you couldn't talk, things went by a lot faster than I imagined they would.
That's okay.
so-
I totally understand. I won't give you.
Yeah.
a hard time.
I also, considering how this place operates and with the whole native thing going on here, I want to
You're
make
gonna
sure that
wanna know
I
what you're talking about. and,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
yeah, I got you.
You're good. It's
Yeah.
fine.
All right. I just don't you guys to hate me.
No, I don't hate
No
you.
one's
at all.
gonna hate you.
Because somebody's in the chat asking for a refund. I don't know what you'd want a refund for. It's not like you spent any money on anything.
Not.
Pay for bits.
I can't pay you in time.
My time.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Sadly, next Friday there will be no Efera and no Friday after that because of Christmas Eve. But on New Year's Eve, there's a very good chance that we'll be back then. It's just a little rocky. So yeah, but definitely keep you posted. If you would like to have more updates, be sure to join the Discord because that's where we're gonna post those updates if we do happen to have a session or something going on a day that's not normally scheduled. But thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Yeah.
Bow, now, now.